I live? Am I live? Am I live? I'm live. Okay, we're getting started. Let's get it started. Okay. Yay, yay, yay. Hello, everybody. So I think when folks, the lovely lady off camera here is going to be helping me out. If anybody has any questions or comments, go ahead and just fire away. And I believe this is only the second time I've done this. They'll show up over there. So hello, everybody, and welcome to Conscious Cooking. I'm here in one of my kitchens, and I'm so excited about this, especially today, because this happens to be my daughter's 10th birthday. And one of the reasons, other than the fact that I birthed her on that day, that's significant, but it completely coincides with me opening up my relationship and connection with food through a training program I did called the Dragon's Way Qigong, where we learn about the essence and the energy of food and how it impacts our body in a healing way. Before 10 years ago, I did not know how to cook. I put things together that were already prepared, but I had no idea how to cook. It freaked me out. I just assumed for the rest of my life, whatever. I love going out to eat. Other people can do it for me. But after I started developing a connection with food, it has truly, truly become a passion. And I'm here to say, I'm speaking for myself. I know that the lovely lady off camera would agree. Here, give us a thumbs up. She has told me multiple times that I need to start my own restaurant because it's so good. And I'm like, no, lady, I've got 4 kids and a husband and other people who pop over all the time. I have my own restaurant. So I want to get down to business. So here we are learning about this concept of eating for healing and conscious cooking. What I'm going to make for you today that will be very easy for you to go home and make with just a couple simple ingredients is something that we'll just call kind of Chinesey noodles. Fancy, right? Chinesey noodles. So what we're going to be working with, these are scallions, or green onions. And I love these because of the fact that they help to support our liver energy, which is the energy that helps us to process emotions and handle stress. They also help our lung energy and our digestive system. We're going to use a little bit of ginger that I'm going to dice up for this dish. Really, really, really good for warming up our digestive system. Also good for the liver and our lungs. Super excited to introduce these little guys. Get that in the camera. These are sprouted mung beans. Ooh, thank you, assistant. I'm glad I just poured water on my computer. So mung beans are a powerhouse for supporting that liver. Again, the organ system that helps us to process stress and frustration and balance our emotions. So what happens when you sprout these little guys, I'll just put a few in my hand, which I did myself, is they begin to grow, of course. And when they begin to grow, you get the essence and energy of breakthrough and transformation right there in the food that you eat. So we bring it to the level of spirit, just with a simple little act of, using something that's been sprouted, which you can buy these at the store already sprouted too. Another ingredient we're going to be using today, I have chosen Shiitake mushrooms. Mushrooms are excellent for the lung and the digestive system. And we're going to bring this all together, and I will introduce the different spices and oils while I'm working with them. I have chosen to use these pad thai noodles that are rice-based. There are also noodles that are mung bean based, and you don't have to use this kind of noodles. Regular noodles are just fine for this dish as well. So I'm going to lower my camera. I'm going to show you the simple act of preparing these scallions. So all I'm going to do, see my own self here, I'm going to cut off their little heads, and I like to use my cleaver for all of my cooking. And part of the reason is it does a lot of the work for me. And I'm not one of those people that has gotten to the practice yet where I can like with this. But when I do this, I'm trying to make them all around the same shape and size. And I'm going to go all the way up into this nice green part, just about to the point where the leaves divide. And I've chosen to use 6 So scallions, you know, like onions, they just add a whole lot of flavor to anything you're cooking. And again, they're super amazingly awesome for the digestive system, the liver, and the lungs. So cutting off those heads. The scallion can also be used in a tea where you boil water with scallion in it and ginger, and it's super fantastic if you have a fever or you're processing a cold, or even if you have COVID, to help warm you up from the inside and get that cold essence and energy out. So we got our scallion. Next, I'm going to chop up, I think you can see what I'm doing. I'm novice here. All right, so next I'm going to chop up a little bit of ginger. I'm going to be peel it using my cleaver. And I'm going to cut this into little tiny pieces just to add a little extra warmth and spice to what I'm preparing today. It's not like a huge deal if there's a little bit of peel on there. Don't get hung up. And if you don't have ginger in your house, you better run out and get some like yesterday. Ginger is one of the most important and easy to use healing foods. You know, whether you're integrating it into your cooking or you're using it in your tea. And when I use it in tea, I don't even peel it. I just will put in 3 or 4 slices into a pot of tea, or 1 or 2 slices into a cup of tea. And the ginger will help you with your digestive health. The ginger will help you with your lung if you have a cold, if it's just you're living in a crazy place like we are, where in the springtime we have a blizzard, help you to stay warm on the inside. So just chopping up this ginger real fine, because if you've ever eaten raw ginger before, it's a big surprise in your mouth if you get a big chunk of it, because it is intense. Chopping, 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 and I'm not seeing any messages yet, Kenji, and I don't even know where they would come through, so sorry if you are messaging and I'm not seeing you. I will get better at this with time. All right. A little more choppy chop on the ginger. Okay, beautiful. All right, so what I'm going to start with, got a wok, and this is also my preferred pan to cook with. I like the wok because it heats up really, really fast, and I like the wok because it heats evenly all over its surface, so you can work, and I like moving in it. It gives me lots of space to work the magic. So I'm going to turn on the heat here. With this oven, I'm going to do like medium. Now we're going to talk oils. So before I opened up to all this, you know, I pretty much had one oil that I would use for just about everything, and I'm going to get this in there while it's heating up. So you can see what I did. It's a splash of oil to coat the bottom of the pan. So every nut and seed has an essence and an energy. So when you pick and choose different kinds of oils to use, you're going to be supporting a different system. This one is walnut, which will help the kidney energy. That every kind of flower, nut, seed is going to have a different organ system that it supports. The kidney is our whole life force, so we want all the help we can get for that. So it's already nice and hot. So I'm going to start by adding in my scallion. Let that start to warm up. A little bit. And I like to just move things around with my spatula. So what I'll be working with in terms of seasoning, this is called mushroom seasoning. See, little granules. So this is something that you could find at a Chinese market. You can also buy it online. You want to be careful that when you purchase the mushroom seasoning, you pick one that does not have MSG. What the mushroom seasoning does is whatever savory dish you're making, it's going to make it pop. It's just going to bring out all the flavors. I love this stuff. I use it in just about everything. And a little goes a long way, because even though there's no salt in it, it has a salty taste. So we're getting these guys are sizzling really nicely. I'm going to give that a couple of minutes of sizzle time in there. And the next I'm gonna add in my ginger. Well, that's cooking up, so the flavors start coming out in this ginger. And I cook intuitively, right? So, and I encourage you, it's a practice, right? My intuition said that was just enough. I'm making this for my kids' dinner. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make dinner for my kids midday. So hey, why not? Why not record what I'm doing and do a little teaching at the same time? Why not? All right, this is ready to receive the mushrooms. All right, so important thing now is just getting everybody in the party. That's the fun thing about using the wok. You can see I'm doing a little energy movement while everything's cooking up. All right, so we talked about the mushroom seasoning. Some of the other flavors we're bringing into this party that are good to have around. Cooking wine. This is Chinese cooking wine. I get this from the Chinese market. And also for myself, I just like a little splash, usually towards the end of what you're preparing, when you're making vegetables, when you're making a soup. It brings out a nice flavor. I'm also going to use a little bit of toasted sesame oil, which really is not something that we use for cooking per se, but for seasoning. Up nicely. So while I have this moment when the mushrooms are cooking, I also wanted to share that I've never used my kitchen as my studio, and actually tonight I was going to be doing that. Another reason to be here doing this little promo now. We will be hosting an event tonight called Weed, Seed, and Feed, Nurturing the Garden with N. So you're going to get a little more perspective from my practice, Indie Healing Center, and looking at the Chinese medicine concept of digestive health. You're also going to get the perspective of the lovely Heather Meyer, who's a nurtured heart therapist, about the brain and gut connection. And finally, I'm super, super, super excited to have Karen Lynn Burr of Materia Medica. She is an herbalist, and she's going to be doing a demo, helping to create like a herbal, nutraceutical rich smoothie. So I can't wait to hear her angle and perspective as well. So it's going to be a fun live collaboration zooming to you. And again, it's a free event. The link is in the description of the video that you're watching. Okay, these mushrooms are looking fantastic. And I'm ready to bring in my little mung babies. So Ingo, the mung bean babies. And I haven't added any of my mushroom seasoning yet. The mung beans, the other thing that I did is I soaked them in some hot water for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then I drained them. That just makes them a little more tender. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture of what's in action here. All right. And now we're going to toss in the mushroom seasoning. So this again is something that's very much an art, knowing how salty it is. I'm just going to take a nice sprinkle, maybe a little bit more. Get that all mixed in. And if this intrigues you, and you would like to learn more about eating for healing, please visit my website, indiehealingcenter.com. I have a whole extensive page on the concept that's also linked to different easy-to-follow recipes. All right, this is what we got so far. It smells amazing. Oh, here we go. I got one comment. Yay! I didn't see where the comments are coming out. Thank you. Thank you. So Claudia's watching, and she says, I'm doing a great job. Thank you. I love the appreciation. Okay, so now, see what I want to do next, a little bit of cooking wine. So I just use my cap, and I'm just going to pour like half a cap full. Should be enough. Stuff is strong. Trying to figure out, it almost has more of a boozy smell than a wine smell. So just letting that soak in. Mixing it all together. Oh, this is perfect. We're almost done. I don't even know how many minutes I've been live, but 15, and we're almost done. I've been chatting more than I've been cooking. Okay. So, here we are so far. And the next step, my noodles. My noodles are going to go in. Use some tongs, and I pre-cooked these. So they're a little sticky. Get this separated. That was the only thing I wasn't sure about. I'm like, If I pre-cook them, will they separate? Because you want the noodles to really mix in with all the vegetables, so you get that flavor in every bite. All right, here we go. All right, get my favorite tool back out. So now what I'm doing, maybe if you can hold it here while I'm moving my hands and see. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. So I'm just going to show you my technique for, just want to really make sure we get everything mixed together, because that's really the key. We have this beautiful combination of all these different veggies, and we would like everything to be nice and evenly flavored. Little green, little brown. And I'm realizing there's one more thing that would be really good. So this is good. This is a good live last minute thing. You can put it back down. So what I'm realizing would be really amazing is a little bit of tangerine peel. So something just caught me. So again, here you go. You're getting like real live action, intuitive cooking. I'm going to turn the heat down so I don't burn everything. And I'm going to finely chop. You can see what I'm up to here. This is going to give a nice little zesty flavor. In addition, it's going to give a nice color. I have this feeling we needed something a little orange or red. Right. Oh yeah, it smells so good. Okay. And away we go. Really trying to get that all throughout. Thank you, Kendra. And mix all those flavors together. Oh yeah, that was it. And then the last piece for this is that I'm going to add some of the toasted sesame oil. And actually, it's not the last piece. You'll see I've got one more secret ingredient that I'm going to do a little bit of. Not a lot of the toasted sesame oil. Very, very strong flavor. You can see. Mixed in real well. Now I'm going to do kind of I can't call it a cheat. Nothing is cheating. You can put it back down. Thank you. So this is a store-bought product. This is called Makoto ginger dressing. So I like the flavor of this. I know it very well. I use it in various different things, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a splash of this. If anybody has ever gone to a Japanese restaurant, this is often used on the salad you get at the beginning. So a little bit of a splash. And we've got dinner. That's it. That's it. We're complete. So again, if you loved what you saw here today, first of all, let me show you the completion. If you loved what you saw here today, you can visit indiehealingcenter.com and you can learn more about eating for healing and everything that I'm up to there. In addition, if you want to learn more about how to support your digestive health tonight, join us for Weed, Seed, and Feed, Nurturing the Garden Within. This is a free event hosted by our foundation, the Conscious Community Collaborative. Thank you for joining us.